You might think he's just being nice, but what if I told you his smallest actions are actually loud signs that he feels something deeper, that what looks like calm on the surface might actually be quiet intensity underneath? Because sometimes the men who care the most aren't the ones saying it. They're the ones showing it in ways most people miss. Today, I'll show you 7 hidden signs that reveal when his feelings run much deeper than he admits. Have you ever noticed how he remembers something you mentioned once in passing, or how he pays attention when no one else does? That's not coincidence. That's emotional investment. His mind doesn't forget what matters to him. Watch how he acts when you're not looking. Does he try to make things easier for you, even in small ways? When a man has strong feelings, he invests energy, not just words. He might step back at times, but he never truly disappears. His consistency, his attentiveness, and his quiet care all speak louder than any confession. If this resonates with you so far, hit that like button, not just for me, but to remind yourself that real affection shows through actions. Keep watching, because the next signs might completely change how you read his behavior forever. You might think it's easy to see when a man truly feels something for you, but it's not always that simple. The reality is, the men who feel the deepest emotions often hide them the best. The ones who are quietly falling for you aren't always the ones saying sweet words or doing big romantic gestures. Instead, their emotions show up in tiny, unplanned moments, the kind that many people overlook without even noticing. Today, I'll share 7 hidden signs that show when a man has strong feelings for you, even when he tries hard to hide them. These aren't the usual things you've heard before. They're not about compliments, flirting, or attention. These are signs that live between the lines, in how he moves, how his tone changes, and the subtle shifts in his behavior when you're near. And if you've been wondering whether he truly cares or if it's all in your head, this will clear everything up. Because once you know how to read these small signals, you'll see the truth that's been right in front of you all along. What makes these signs different is that they don't rely on what he tells you. They rely on what he can't help but show you. His strongest feelings come out not when he's trying to impress you, but when he's trying to stay calm and in control. It happens in the moments he doesn't plan, in the reactions he can't fully hide. And once you know how to see them, you'll never again wonder where you really stand with him. So, stay with me till the very end, because the last sign, the 7th one, gives everything away completely. It's the proof that what he feels goes far beyond attraction. It's real, lasting, and something he couldn't hide even if he wanted to. Every woman at some point finds herself asking, does he really have feelings for me? Or am I just imagining it? That quiet question sits somewhere between excitement and fear. You don't want to assume too much, but you can't ignore what your heart feels either. Here's the tricky part. Men rarely express their deepest emotions directly. Some are naturally reserved. Others have learned that showing too much interest can make them seem weak. And then there are those who don't even realize their actions are already revealing everything. No matter how much he tries to stay guarded, his emotions will always find a way to show. Because the heart doesn't stay silent forever. It seeps through the cracks in his tone, in his eyes, in the little choices he makes when you're near. When you begin to notice those patterns, everything changes. You stop guessing, you stop doubting, and you start to see what's really happening beneath the surface. You begin to understand that real feelings don't always come out through big declarations. They appear in the small, consistent actions that speak louder than words ever could. And that's what we're uncovering now, the quiet, undeniable signs that a man truly has deep feelings for you, even if he's trying hard to hide them. When a man genuinely has strong feelings for you, he doesn't always move closer. Sometimes he does the complete opposite. He might suddenly seem distant, quieter, or even start avoiding you. At first, that distance can feel confusing and maybe even painful. You begin wondering if he's losing interest or if you somehow did something wrong. But in reality, the opposite is true. What he feels for you is so strong that it shakes his sense of control. When deep emotions come in, they bring vulnerability with them, and that can be scary. He's afraid of saying the wrong thing, of showing too much, or of revealing just how much you already mean to him. That fear makes him step back, not because he doesn't care, but because he cares more than he's ready to admit. It's his heart trying to protect itself. But the beautiful thing is, that distance never lasts for long. No matter how far he pulls away, something inside him always pulls him back toward you. You'll notice he finds little reasons to reconnect. Maybe he sends a short message just to check in, or casually joins a chat you're having with someone else. He might even act like it's a coincidence, but it's not. Every small reason to reach out is his way of saying, "I can't stay away." This back and forth pattern, where he withdraws one day and returns the next, isn't a game or confusion. It's a man caught between his emotions and his fears. His heart wants closeness, but his mind wants safety, and that inner conflict creates the mixed signals you feel. One moment he's warm and open, and the next he seems distant and unreadable. But underneath that uncertainty lies something steady. His feelings for you are growing stronger, and he's trying to find a way to handle them without losing himself. Watch him carefully when you're in the same place. You'll notice how his energy changes the second you walk into the room. Even if he tries to act calm, there's a shift. His posture straightens, his voice softens, and his attention flickers toward you more than once. It's subtle, but it's there. His emotions are quietly changing how he acts, even if he doesn't realize it. And if you ever catch him watching you when he thinks you're not looking, that's another clear sign his heart is already involved. Because that kind of gaze doesn't come from simple curiosity. It comes from depth. It's his heart expressing itself in the only way it knows how. He may look away quickly the moment your eyes meet, but that split second says more than words ever could. He's not avoiding you because you don't matter. He's avoiding you because you matter too much. His eyes reveal what his words can't, and the more you notice, the clearer it becomes. Distance doesn't mean disinterest. For a man who's falling for you, that space is just his way of catching his breath before the pull of his feelings draws him back again. There's something honest about his eyes. They tell the truth even when his mouth stays quiet. A man can control what he says, choose his tone, or even hide emotions behind calm confidence. But his eyes, those always tell the story. If you've ever caught him looking at you from across a room, not just a quick glance, but holding that gaze a little too long, that's no accident. It's not just being polite. It's his emotions searching for a way to reach you. And when he quickly looks away once you notice, that tiny pause is the giveaway. That small flicker of hesitation reveals exactly what he's trying to keep hidden. There's a certain softness in how a man looks at someone he deeply cares for. It's more focused, more grounded, almost like the rest of the world fades behind you. You'll see it when he listens to you, when he watches you talk, or when he laughs at something you say, even if it wasn't that funny. His gaze stays a bit longer, not because he's trying to flirt, but because he's drawn in by something real, something that words can't fully explain. And every time that look happens, it's his emotions silently speaking. You may not hear the words, but you'll feel them, because eyes never lie, and that quiet connection will always tell you the truth that his voice might still be too scared to share. But it's because he's quietly captivated, watching every little detail, every small expression that makes you who you are. And the most telling part? He probably doesn't even realize he's doing it. His attention simply finds you, even in a crowded room. His eyes go back to you again and again, not from habit, but because he feels drawn to you almost like something magnetic pulling him in. Watch how his eyes shift when you're talking. They soften when you share something close to your heart, light up when you talk about something you love, or focus deeply when you're saying something meaningful. That kind of attention isn't casual. It happens only when someone has already formed an emotional bond, even if he hasn't admitted it yet. Men might not always say how they feel, but their eyes will always reveal it. They can't fake the warmth, the intensity, or that quiet sense of longing. Those extra seconds of eye contact, those little glances that last a heartbeat longer than normal, are his emotions speaking the words he can't. And here's what most people miss. When a man's feelings run deep, his eyes don't just see you, they remember you. Long after you've gone, that image of you stays with him. That's why he stumbles over his words the next time you meet, or why he acts slightly different when you're near. Every glance you've shared has already left a trace inside him. So when you notice that look, that unguarded moment when his eyes soften or linger, don't ignore it. That's not casual interest, that's connection. It's his true feelings trying to show themselves through silence. Another hidden sign of genuine emotion is how he remembers small things you say. It might seem minor, but it's one of the clearest signs that you've made a real impression on him. Most men don't hold on to every detail of random conversations, but when he feels something for you, that changes. His focus sharpens. Suddenly, little things about you become important. He remembers your favorite drink, the song you mentioned once, or the story you told about your childhood. Maybe he texts to ask how your meeting went, or surprises you with your favorite coffee without you even asking. That's not coincidence. That's care. His memory is reflecting what his heart already feels. You're not just another person in his day. Your words stay with him long after the conversation ends. He remembers these things because they mean something to him. They connect him to you. It's like he's quietly gathering small pieces of your world and keeping them safe because each one feels special. That kind of attention isn't random, it's emotional. It's what happens when a man's heart begins to attach itself to someone who truly matters. You'll notice it when he brings up something you barely remember saying, and you'll find yourself thinking, how did he even remember that? The answer is simple, because it came from you. When a man truly cares, he doesn't just hear your words, he listens. He doesn't just store facts, he holds on to feelings. He might mention that you love rainy days, or that you miss your grandmother's cooking, or notice when your mood changes, things no one else would catch. It's his quiet way of saying, I see you. You matter to me. And that's one of the most beautiful signs of all, because it's not loud or showy, it's steady and real. A man who remembers the little things is already emotionally invested, even if he hasn't said it out loud yet. You can also sense it in how his body reacts when you're near. His posture changes, his energy shifts, and even without thinking, he starts to align himself with you. When a man feels deeply for someone, his body expresses what his words can't. It's instinct, not planning. In a group, you might notice he always ends up standing or sitting near you, even though there are other places he could be. He leans in when you speak, mirrors your small movements, or subtly faces his body toward you. These gestures might look unimportant, but they're not. They're quiet signs of connection, showing that he feels more at ease when he's close to you. And then there are the nervous habits. For many men, being around someone they care deeply about makes them lose their usual calm. The guy who's normally relaxed and confident might start fidgeting with his hands, touching his shirt, fixing his hair too often, or stumbling over his words. He laughs more than usual, sometimes at things that aren't even that funny. But that's not awkwardness, it's emotion showing through his body. What's happening inside him is simple, yet powerful. He wants to make a good impression, but the strength of what he feels shakes his control. His heart beats faster than his mind can manage. That nervous energy, the slips, the laughter, the hesitation, those are some of the most honest signals of all. Because if you didn't mean something to him, he wouldn't feel nervous at all. When a man feels nothing, he's perfectly calm. But when he feels something deep, every part of him reacts to your presence. His breath changes, his body becomes more alert, and his attention narrows on you as though the rest of the world disappears. It's not about what he says, it's about what his body gives away. You can feel it in the air, that quiet mix of tension and emotion when he's close. And the truth is, he can't fake that. You can't pretend your heart is racing when it's not. So next time you catch him fidgeting, laughing too much, or glancing at you between words, don't mistake it for clumsiness. That's not a man who doesn't know what to say. That's a man whose feelings are louder than his voice. Another way his emotions quietly reveal themselves is through effort, the steady, thoughtful kind that doesn't ask for attention. When a man truly cares, he finds reasons to be there even when he's busy. He shows up in small, consistent ways that speak volumes. It's not about big gestures or dramatic words. It's about those quiet moments when he checks in to see how you're doing, messages you just to make sure you got home safely, or remembers something small you said and follows up on it later. Maybe he offers to help with something simple, carrying something heavy, fixing something, or just making time for you, even when his schedule is full. To most people, these actions might look small, but to him, they mean a lot. Behind every little act of effort is a choice, a decision to prioritize you without needing to say it aloud. That's what makes it meaningful. Men don't invest their time and energy into someone unless they feel something real. And when you start to notice those consistent efforts, the quiet check-ins, the remembered details, the gentle concern, you'll realize that what he feels runs deeper than anything he's ever said. Because love doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers through the smallest things. Effort is emotional currency, and he's spending it on you. You'll see it in the patterns. He doesn't disappear when things get busy or complicated. Instead, he makes room for you, even when it would be easier not to. He keeps finding reasons to reach out, to message, to see you, to stay connected, because you've quietly become part of his daily rhythm. And though he might downplay it, act like it's nothing special, it means everything, because no one keeps showing up for someone they don't care about. And that effort often grows into something deeper. Protectiveness. Not the loud, possessive kind, but the quiet, natural kind that says a lot without needing words. You'll notice it in small moments. When he walks you to your car without you asking. When he offers his jacket if you're cold, or when he subtly moves closer if he senses you're uneasy. He might not even be aware he's doing it, but it's his way of saying, "I've got you." This kind of care isn't about control, it's about concern. It's about wanting you to feel safe, wanting to make your day a little easier, wanting to be someone you can rely on without needing to ask. And that's not something a man does for everyone. He saves that part of himself for someone who's reached a deeper place in his heart. His protectiveness is love showing up through his actions, a quiet strength that says more than words ever could. So when you see him going out of his way for you, checking in, paying attention, showing up, don't overlook it. That's not just kindness. That's emotion turned into action. That's a man whose feelings have already taken root, even if he tries to look calm and casual. Sometimes that protectiveness reveals itself in another form, jealousy. Not the unhealthy kind, but the subtle kind that slips through before he can hide it. You might see it when another man talks to you and he suddenly grows quiet, or his expression shifts slightly. Maybe he steps closer, joins the talk, or gently tries to pull your attention back to him. It's not about control, it's about emotion. Deep down, he feels something real but hasn't yet put it into words. It's that quiet fear of losing even a moment of your attention, that small change in tone, that protective shift in body language. Those aren't random. They're signs of a man who's emotionally invested but still trying to appear unaffected. He may act cool, but his heart has already exposed him. And that's what makes this stage of hidden feelings so revealing. It's not the big gestures that show the truth. It's the unguarded moments when instinct takes over. You can sense it in how his energy changes around you. You notice it in how he makes sure you're okay, in how he leans closer when you talk, in how he's quietly tuned into you, even when others are around. Then comes playfulness. When a man starts to feel comfortable and safe with you, when he moves past the stage of trying to impress and begins to feel connected, that's when his natural personality begins to come out. He teases you softly, jokes with you, or creates little moments just to make you laugh. It's never harsh or cutting. It's warm, light, and full of affection. It's his way of saying, "I enjoy being with you. I feel at ease around you." That playful side builds a bridge between caution and closeness. It's how he lets his guard down without fully confessing how deeply he feels. Every time he makes you smile, every inside joke he creates, every moment of laughter you share, it's him showing that you've reached a place where he feels safe enough to be his real self. That kind of comfort doesn't come easily for someone still trying to hide what's in his heart. Watch how he uses humor to stay close to you. Maybe he teases you about something small you said earlier, exaggerates it, or turns it into a private joke. Those shared laughs become small, meaningful memories that belong only to the two of you. They're his way of growing the bond without needing to say, "I care about you." Because playfulness isn't just about fun, it's a quiet form of intimacy. It's trust, comfort, and genuine affection all wrapped in one. And when a man begins to blend that gentle protectiveness with that kind of playfulness, you can be sure his emotions have gone beyond simple attraction. They've turned into attachment. Each little gesture, his nervous slips, his steady care, his protective instincts, his jokes and laughter, they're all pieces of a bigger picture. And when you take a step back and look closely, you'll see what it truly spells out. Love that's unspoken, but real. Because real feelings don't always shout for attention. Sometimes they whisper in the smallest, most natural ways, in the way he remembers your stories, notices your comfort, protects you without being asked, or smiles when he hears your name. They show up in effort, in warmth, in the moments when his guard falls for just a second and you glimpse his true heart underneath. That's the quiet truth about men who feel deeply. They may not always have the right words, but their actions will always speak for them. And once you learn how to see those small signs, you'll realize the truth was there from the start. He doesn't just like you, he feels you, he values you, and whether he admits it or not, he's already emotionally yours in ways even he might not fully understand.